Samantha felt a twinge of envy as she watched the other girls share laughter and food with their friends and boyfriends. She tried to shake it off, reminding herself that Bryan's friendship was enough for now. Yet the absence of Lilly made her feel oddly isolated. The noise of admiration for the boys around her buzzed like a distant hum, but she focused on her food, wishing for a moment that she could join in their carefree joy. Samantha rolled her eyes. She would repeat this again. Korea girls can never crush on someone without another person knowing. See the way they are shouting like dogs, Samantha thought and closed her eyes. Did Bryan Upa just sit on her chair? Are they a couple now? Is she his girlfriend? Samantha opened her eyes to see Bryan sitting in front of her. Bryan raised an eyebrow at her, gesturing her to eat. She smiled, and they started eating. Immediately, Samantha finished eating. She sat there waiting for Bryan to finish eating. What a slow eater, Samantha muttered, and Bryan looked at her. Oops, I blurted out again, Samantha thought, and watched as he used his finger to wipe away some piece of pie on the side of her lips. Samantha's eyes widened while everyone stared at them in shock. Bryan looked at Samantha's innocent face for some seconds. No, 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 stop seeing Samantha as Matha! Bryan scolded himself in his thoughts. But this sounds odd, Bryan thought. Soon Bryan finished eating. He stood up and walked away. Immediately, he left the students, gave her a death glare. Samantha entered the class and went to her seat immediately, ignoring some hateful looks the girls were throwing at her. Samantha! Samantha turned, and next thing she felt was something being poured into her eyes. Soon it began to pepper her badly. No, it's chili pepper. Ah! Samantha yelled, as she rubbed her eyes as she did, that it became even worse as she began to scream and cry. But what she was hearing was the familiar sound of laughter. Nina and her minims. Samantha squinted her eyes as she felt like killing herself because of the pains in her eyes. She heard the sound of door bursting open. She couldn't hold it anymore. She fell down in pain, but felt a strong arm engulf her waist. Bryan caught her before she could reach the floor and carried her in a bridal style out of the class. My eyes, my eyes. Yes. It would be over soon, okay? Bryan knew the pain she was passing through. Imagine the pain of chili pepper being poured or sprayed into your eyes. Bryan! It hurt. Her cries increased that people from miles away might hear her screams. Immediately, he reached his personal class. He made her lay on the couch before getting a bowl filled with water and towel quickly. She didn't stop crying or shouting in pain. Her face has gone bright red. He sat on the couch, placed her face on his laps, then soaked the towel into the water, brought it out, making sure it was not too soaked. Then he dabbed it on her face, softly whispering encouraging words to her. A girl had actually told Bryan about what happened, and he didn't think of asking her name, because what was registered in his brain was, Samantha, Samantha. Samantha's scream soon died down a little. Her screams turned to sob till she fell asleep. Her face was damn red. He pecked her forehead and covered her with a duvet before walking out of the class. Lock the SS3B of art now. Make sure no one comes out, and don't let anyone in, not even a teacher. Bryan ordered a guard, and he ran to carry out the order.